at this. The white people up top tonight. You know, I was just in my hotel a little while ago on my way here, and I got in the elevator, right? I'm getting in the elevator, and these two high school white boys tried to get on with me, and I just dove off. I said, y'all ain't killing me. I am scared of young white boys. If you white and under 21, I am running for the hill. What the hell is wrong with these white kids shooting up the school? They don't even wait till 3 o'clock either. Killing people in the morning, that ain't right. It's that trench coat mafia. No one would play with us. We had no friends in the trench coat mafia. Hey, I saw the yearbook picture. It was 6 of them. I ain't have 6 friends in high school. I don't got 6 friends now. Shit, that's 3-on-3 with a half court. What the hell is wrong with these kids? I got people telling me, come on, Chris, come up to a school, talk to the kids. I'm like, fuck the kids. Do you got a vest? Maybe I'll think about it. Everybody want to know what the kids was listening to. And what kind of music was they listening to? Or what kind of movies was they watching? Who gives a fuck what they was watching? Whatever happened to crazy? What happened to crazy? Well, you can't be crazy no more? Do we eliminate crazy from the dictionary? Fuck the record, fuck the movie, crazy. When I was a kid, they used to separate the crazy kids from everybody. When I was a kid, the crazy kids went to school in a little ass bus. They had a class at the end of the school, and they used to get out of school at 2:30. Just in case they went crazy, they would only hurt other crazy kids. And we was all safe. We was all safe. Then the world coming to an end. World coming to an end. You're going to have little white kids saying, I want to go to a black school where it's safe.
Greetings, everyone. So,
hello.
Welcome to RadioGunk v. Gunk, things that go gunk in the night.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're doing tonight. So it's a little bit of a creep factor and a little bit of what Howard said.
Today happens to be the anniversary of all these.
Yes. Today is April 20th. It is the anniversary of Columbine, which happened in 1999. And
23 years ago.
It's 23 years ago, and I was just we were talking about Columbine and what a seminal moment it was in
American culture, basically.
Those kids are now in their early 40s.
Copycats.
I saw a group picture of them, and it was the saddest thing. It was they showed what are they up to now? And I don't know, it wasn't a full-blown documentary. I saw something, I can't remember what it was, and it just showed them now and their thoughts and how it's still with them. It looms over the school, and I was just floored. Oh,
how could it not? How could it not?
Early 40s now, these kids are.
Yeah, Eric Harris would have been 41 years old 10 days ago.
Ida Greenback's your biggest fan.
She loves you. She is a Monique super fan.
I love Ida. Are you kidding me?
She is on your
my
Instagram.
Ida is my fan.
Well, I mean, maybe we can kind of go back a little bit. Before today's 1999, 420, we had the I Don't Like Mondays was kind of like the school shooting, and that was kind of like so tame in comparison with what these kids did. I mean,
what about Jeremy Spoke?
Well, that was
exactly
another.
right.
But that's a kid that committed suicide. That's
he just shot himself in front of the whole
shot himself
class.
in front of the class. But yeah,
and then pumped up kicks.
And I think prior to Columbine, I think the big one was here in San Diego, the McDonald's massacre. You had that was kind of it until Columbine, and then after Columbine, we've had dozens and dozens of copycats. It just like it kind of broke the seal of what horrors, kids can do to kids, and it's just interesting how.
Or the gun problem in this country, which is insane, and all you Canucks in the chat will kill us for we're absolutely. You're right. We should be embarrassed about our prison system, about our gun problem. It is, and that set the tone.
Thanks, Marta.
It's probably worse than ever now.
Well,
thank you, Marta. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you so much.
I think these kids, and it's funny because we're just going to chit chat about it. And then we'll talk about what Howard's take was the next day. You had these kids who are perceived to have been bullied, and you see this footage of them where they're like kind of raging at a camera. Well, that's from a school project, and that had nothing to do with, the actual what they refer to as the basement tapes, where they actually, methodically planned their assault on their fellow classmates.
Right.
And it's weird because in hindsight, there was dozens and dozens of red flags that people should have, Eric Harris, he wrote an essay about how he wanted to basically kill everybody. And the teacher just said, "Oh, I love your writing, but you can do better than this," basically. And then you had them, constantly fucking around with guns and just doing this weird shit. I don't know how many of you guys know the background of what really happened. In 1998, January 1998, these kids, Klebold and Harris, they were kind of like late 90s gamers kind of kids. And they tried to break into what would best be comparable as like an Amazon or a Best Buy van. Right. And they stole electronic equipment from it, but they got busted. They went through the juvenile system and everything. They had to, write apology notes, apology letters, and do all the things that they needed to do per court order. And that was the turning point because Eric Harris was actually he was kind of popular with the girls. He's a good-looking kid. He had no problems getting dates. Yeah, he was in honors classes.
He was a writer. He was in honors classes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and Klebold, more of a jerk-off, typical high school kid, but nothing demonstrous or anything. But after that van break-in, they changed. They felt slighted. They felt like somehow, like they were going to, like this ruined their lives.
Did you just combine demonstrative and monstrous at the same time?
But anyway, so he Eric Harris, or Klebold, I could be mixing them up. So I apologize. They actually started, the late 90s, those online blogs, and he's literally just typing out everything he's going to do. And that was up for like an entire year and change, and nobody picked up on it. It was really weird. They frequented these private Ku Klux Klan message boards where it's kind of invite only, and they just chit-chatted with the fellas there, and they learned how to do homemade napalm, whatever it's called, how to do explosives and all this other shit willy-nilly. So when you hear that these kids were loners and bullied, that's like the first thing from the truth.
Well, that's what Tiger Lily just wrote here. This is really a red mark of definition for seeing how the press screws things up into a narrative. These two boys were not bullied, and they were actually bullies to others.
Absolutely.
They were bullies to others.
Ida and Marta, too. Where are the effing parents?
That's a good question.
Well, apparently one of the mothers just came out with a book, and she's been on the speaking circuit and all that, and she was shamed.
I saw that in the threads.
And somebody had asked her, why do you even keep that last name? She's like, because I need to carry this shame with me.
That's how you cleanse yourself of it. That's how you redeem yourself.
Giving her a pass that somehow she missed like a million flags.
I don't give her a pass. I don't give her
I'm not. I'm just saying, I'm just for the sake of conversation. Like, how do you live with yourself knowing your child did this? And you gotta, that's some fucked up shit to live with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were showing the funeral for like one of the kids, and there was like 700 people there, and then they were showing Eric's funeral where 10 people, and it was just family members were there.
Dude, if that was my brother, I wouldn't have gone. Fuck that. That's just some fucking nightmare fuel shit, man.
I'll tell you what, the Sandy Hook kids, Monique, I think I did the math. I don't know what COVID's has fucked up my sense of time. I think they're seniors in high school now.
Time flies, man. Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, it killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're not gonna make this a pro or anti-gun.
Absolutely
thing,
not.
But I will say the only thing I will say about the gun situation in America is that if shooting babies did nothing to change gun laws,
then nothing's ever gonna happen.
Absolutely
Every 2 weeks.
nothing.
Every 2 weeks.
I mean,
we're so jaded by it. We don't need to do this. No.
I mean, full disclosure, I'm a gun owner, so it's it's all good. I just think that the fact that these kids, and you know what, and however you want to take it, these kids were denied a lot of the weapons that they end up with, and they usually found an adult, kind of like the old days that you would find an adult to buy you a beer at 7-Eleven.
Right.
And they found 2 dudes bought them the guns for them. It's like they didn't give a fuck. And they, what's the worst thing that could happen, right? Yeah. And these kids are just like I don't know. It's just the level of just twisted.
Yeah, but one of them was actually Jewish. So the fact that they came out with this whole Nazi propaganda thing, the kid was Jewish. I mean, and
Jews and Chinese food,
and so he just just decided to hate on his own people. They hated black people.
The one black kid that they murdered in the library, they tormented as much as they could before they killed him.
He was a
nobody
little
relates
guy
to
too.
that than Chris Rock. He went to an all-white school.
He was a short bus guy,
which is even worse.
The kid was only like 4'7".
One of the things that they, the other kids, the other witnesses, that were around this whole thing, that most of them ended up eating lead but survived, is they were saying, look for the kids with the white hats on, the jocks. So they had some sort of vendetta against against jocks and stuff. But I think they were just kind of self-persecuting pricks. Very
Your whole identity is steeped in high school.
Yes.
It's just like that's the problem. Look at me. I pretended I was playing power forward for the NBA in high school. I wasn't even there. It was I was completely checked out. I lived in a fantasy world. Escapism was all I had friends, but I don't steep my personality on high school.
And the other thing about the Trench Coat Mafia, there was actually a group in their high school called the Trench Coat Mafia, who were kind of just geeks, probably, multiplayer type of kids. Well, they had nothing to do with them. The reason, and the police would confirm, the reason they wore trench coats that day is so they could hide their guns as they were approaching the school. The trench coats had nothing to do with those Trench Coat Mafia, and those Trench Coat Mafia kids end up taking massive flack because of it. Right. It's guilt by some weird association that wasn't there.
Right. And so, and because they wore those trench coats to cover everything up, of course, Howard.
Because they had slings. They had slings with shot off shotguns.
Right.
That shot.
That's the reason they wore those.
Yeah, it's.
And no other reason. That was
in my YouTube video. That shot.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Well,
kids.
Look here. Let me share this one picture. I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen it a million times, but it's always worth. This is like the here. Let me see. Share el screen. Tabs. Yep, that's it.
Okay. Gina, how much did the NRA donate?
Okay.
Autobot guy later.
We dressed.
Okay, Shuli, we get it.
Oh, that's such a that picture kills me.
Okay, and here, let me just do this real quick. Okay, this is the senior picture, class of '99. I'm sure you guys have seen it, so you guys know where I'm going with this.
I haven't seen this actually.
But so this is the picture, right? You see all the kids kind of like hugging, taking pictures. But if you go to the corner, there's Eric Harris and Dylan Clearbolt making little. We're gonna shoot you. This is like way before. it actually happened. So how creepy is that exists?
It's brutal.
It's
Kids.
yeah. Okay,
Let's do
I'll stop
the
sharing.
how many black people are in that picture?
Well, it's Colorado, bro.
Well, I know. I see an Avalanche jersey.
Where's
straight
South Park
Yeah.
token?
The one kid I know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly.
with sticks
Well,
from Happy.
Didn't really do
Listen,
them.
You know, we were
do them
thinking
whole.
about playing the American Horror Story clip about the
Season
school
1.
shooting, which is just the
It's almost
worst thing.
a copycat of.
It's the worst thing. It makes your heart race.
Anyway, if you guys, anybody who's bored or whatever, just go to YouTube and type in AHS school shooting scene, and it is eerily similar to what happened in Columbine, and
Yeah.
the just arbitrary taking of life for no fucking reason.
Right, the trench coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Howard thought it was
Sarah-
cool. Howard thought it
course.
was cool.
The world
Yeah.
of this
You know,
teenager at 42.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. No, 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
45. 45.
Well, this whole take your daughter to work thing got started, and quite frankly, I'm happy to have her at school because there's too many shootings going on in these schools.
That's true. It could be safer here than there.
Yeah. Although, I don't know, I think we got our own trench coat mafia right here. I don't want to name names. To be honest with you. I think Casey's in there.
What moniker are they going by, and where's their website so I can see what day they're going to shoot us?
Casey, Fred, and Scott the engineer. Trench coat mafia.
Just FYI, Moody.
Would ye come into their black coats and blow everyone away?
I mean, if you see a kid in school in a black coat, get rid of him.
Actually, I mean, it sounded like a cool outfit. It was like black trench coats. No, it was black trench coats and black eye makeup.
Yeah, but they also wore fatigues.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
Well, that's
fatigues
not cool.
under the trench coat.
I never dig fatigues.
Yeah.
Fatigues never look cool.
And they always say,
Yeah.
we're going to blow up the school.
Yeah, and you never believe them. Because who would blow up the school? You go, yeah, well, what are you going to do after that? Kill yourselves? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Hysterical.
He's very jocular about all this.
Can you
Very
highlight
tough.
Tiger Lily?
Shot out of a
Mel?
cannon.
What, babe?
Tiger Lily. 620.
Xavier, one of those boys in the corner is Brooks Brown. He is the one that Eric told to go home when they were in the parking lot. He reported to the cops as soon as it happened. Yeah, because you know what? He was friends with them, actually. He was one of the Trenchcoat Mafia, and he was actually friends with Eric. And he knew these kids were going a little bit off the rails. You know, there's all these interviews with parents of other kids that Eric used to be friends with. And then when he got with this Dylan kid, it started to kind of really change his mind a little bit. It's kind of like, you know, terrorist cult breeding of
Right.
sorts.
I mean,
you know, you start doing
prior
these,
to this
Yeah.
happening, how many millions of times did some teenage kid say, "Oh, you know what? Fuck this! I'm gonna kill everybody." You know, it's like one of the things. Like most kids go through that period where they're fucking,
I
you know,
don't know, I don't
puberty
think
and
I ever
hate
did
and
that.
whatever, and they're
I
like,
don't
"I'm
think- I
gonna
don't
kill
think I
everybody,"
ever thought
but
that
never
way.
happened. You know, until this,
I don't think I ever thought that way, though, babe. You know, it's
because you're not a dude.
well, okay, I get
Okay,
it.
I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying it happens quite frequently where people are pissed at, you know, at their
Ex,
social
she-
status in high school, and they have this thought of doing something dramatic, you know, and it never goes beyond that.
Heck, she lived next door to Sonny Black and Napolitano, for Christ's sake.
Well, you know what it is, though. I went
This is
to I went
true.
to high school in Manhattan, and you know, it was just kind of like a different vibe. Yeah, you had your jocks, and you know,
Yeah.
you had your goofballs, and you had your actor kids, and you
Have
know,
all the
gymnasts were
freaks and
really
geeks.
big. It was
Yeah.
totally freaks and geeks. But
Yeah.
you know what? It's like I never really had myself
So-
in any one particular group because I was young, you know, so I didn't really feel like I fit in to the older kids nor the ones that were in my age group. It was like a very weird place.
In all fairness to the kids today, and my nephews they're in their 20s, and I got to watch them, and I became fairly decent with their friends. And I have to say, the kids have defied cliques now. It is not as big a thing. Like my own nephew's into sports, and he's kind of got a geek side, which was unheard of in my time. You had to pick something. You couldn't like comic books and sports at the same time. You had to be
One or the other.
typecasted. You had to be right. You have to be myopic in something so you could be labeled. And those kids don't really think like there's a crossover now where you can't quite, you know what I mean? And they're not. It's just different now. That's where I am. But
Well, now, like most school districts across the country have zero tolerance. If you say you're going to do something, that's enough to fucking kick you the fuck out of school.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah,
it's a
they ain't
different
taking
world because of it.
chances anymore.
I don't know if that's how popular normal kids think. Believe me, there were angry, depressed boys who wanted to kill everyone.
Yeah,
but not everyone went out and bought a gun. And did
well,
it.
that's the thing. That's
And
the
this
thing.
enabled
99.9999 of the kids have had those thoughts. You know, eventually fucking get over
this
it.
emboldened people to go out and
Exactly.
be, you know, they go out with a fury and they go out in flames. And, you know, I think that's why the media at some point in the last like 15 years, 10 years, decided to no longer put their names on TV because, you know, that's what they wanted.
That's what they
go
want.
out in a blaze of glory. And, you know, you are more popular in death than you ever were alive. Meanwhile, Klebold, you know, he drove a BMW to school. He was like, you know, lived in a very well-to-do neighborhood. Eric was raised by a parent who was in the military, so he had jumped around a bunch. So he, of all kids, you would think would be, you know, the one who was just a little bit more fucked up. But I think because he jumped around so much, he probably wanted to be more friendly with people, or, you know, just try to fit in.
Can I?
And I don't know what their story was together, like how they kind of hooked up.
I think they met in junior high, didn't they? I could be wrong.
I don't know. My oldest kid was in band down here, and his best friend played football. The team and band used to walk to the stadium together and trade instruments. Not cliquey like when I was in school.
Thank you, Tiger Lily. I thought it was just me. I wish people would say that more. Nobody wants to credit that generation with anything like a bunch of spoiled brats who parents lease their cars in high school parking lot. I say this all the time. When you go to, if I officiate a basketball game, the high school parking lot has better cars than the teachers do. Or, I mean, if you compare it to when you say Generation X was a kid. I just want to give you some historical context. So I think Jeremy beat me to it. Speaking of Jeremy spoke. So this is April of 1999. Howard announces his separation in about 5 months, November, October of 99. So I want everybody to listen for clues because there's no way he's with her here. There's no way.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Wait, where are we?
Howard's separation is announced in October.
What are you talking about,
of 99.
timelines?
This is April of 99.
Oh, well, I have a separate little segue shit clip I can play to that because I thought it was pretty funny. Here we go.
Hey, there's a weird website I just went on. It's called the Love Calculator website.
Love calculator?
You go in and you type in the name of you and your spouse or your, boyfriend or girlfriend. And it gives you odds on how well your marriage will do.
Just from your name?
Yeah.
What is it, like a numerology site?
Yeah.
Or something?
I went in.
Your birthday or
just your No, just your names. It's a calculation based on your names.
Okay, and so what did you come up with?
I went in. First I went in.
What do you do, 3 names or 2?
2. Your wife's maiden name.
First name and last name.
no
Yeah.
Ophelia?
And I went in there on mine, and the odds of Allison and I actually staying together are 12%.
Wow. That's low.
Dr. Love thinks a relationship might work out between Howard Stern and Allison, but the chance is very small. A successful relationship is possible, but you both have to work on it. Do not sit back and think it will all work out fine, because it might not be working out the way you wanted it. Spend as much time with each other as possible. Again, the chance of this relationship working out is very small. So even when
Don't spend a lot of time on
Being a little passive aggressive, aren't we? So of course I found the Love Doctor.
Great clip. God, I'm jealous I didn't get that myself. God, that's so good. It's so eerie.
It's so weird. I couldn't believe when I typed it in. Let me see how it works with Beth. Hold on. Let's go back and see what that does.
That's right, Marta. They're all monsters. Some people are just born evil. That's what Alfred said to Batman. But the Joker.
Well, I mean, who just said it? They were correct in that it was
45%.
Okay, Fudgesicle at 626. Columbine, the shooting was more of a domestic terrorist attack than a school shooting. Original plan was to destroy the school, then shoot the fleeing survivors. Absolutely, that's correct.
That's
They wanted.
Andrew Morgan.
They created home napalm or napalm. Is it napalm? Napalm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and they brought in all these gas cylinder canisters, whatever the fuck you call them, for barbecue, and they start shooting at them, hoping that they would blow up the school, and they wanted to basically, shoot fucking fish in a barrel when the kids were running out.
Andrew
That was a
Morgan
plan that they found out really wasn't a very effective plan. So they decided to just wander the hallways shooting anything that came across them. So
It started with the Breakfast Club, says Andrew Morgan. You know, you kid, that movie is messages about clicks. You know, it was kind of a broad thing, but it does seem like it in a way. The NRA loves school shootings, great for business. Zersky, too.
Well,
Agreed.
I think it's human nature to want to compartmentalize things like this and make it fit into a neat little package. And the truth is, these guys, it was just about these two deranged lunatics. It wasn't really about clicks, you know? They really were just fucked in the head.
I just had to put this up because hello, pot and kettle. It's pretty freaking funny. And hello, Shuli, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Listen, you know what? I'm going to address this here and now because I want to be done with it. And anybody...
Oh, you know... No.
Don't. Here we go. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I don't care what Shuli says. I don't care what beef he may have with me. I don't care who are these podcasters say about me or our show or anything that we do. I will give no quarter to anything that they say because, you know, if petty beefs are what they're into, like there are many, many other people out there who do the same thing on Facebook and on their own podcasts. If you want to get into like petty weeds, by all means, knock yourself out. But I will give no quarter to it, so don't ask me about it again. Okay.
Hey, cunts in the chat that want to give us to give a shit about Shirley. Congratulations, Shirley, on your 1 million listeners.
Oh, congratulations. Excellent.
Congratulations. I could give a fuck. You guys
no
are,
quarter. No
you know,
quarter
by your
shall be
standards, you're
given.
punching down.
Exactly.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Who's the one that was on a show for how many years?
Don't interrupt me fucking talking about school massacres, you piece of shit.
Who
Okay?
had millions of listeners when they were like the most popular people on the radio? Not us. So yeah, you want to punch down?
Hey,
do it all you want, but I'm not saying another word.
You should get the fucking buy another puppet, you fucking worthless piece of shit. Anyway, on that note, back to happier things.
One last thing. Who came in last in the Stuttering John contest? I can't remember.
I'm done with it. Let's move on.
Remember.
We're done. I just wanted to get that. I just wanted to get that out there.
I think you did them a favor. Who gives a
Imagine
shit?
finishing behind Chauncey and Joey Boots.
Whatever.
That would, when you talk about Columbine, I'd kill myself after that.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so what I want to do before I play the horrible Howard clip is to show you what Howard probably looked at when he was commenting on what had happened in Columbine. So I got the feed from the New York WABC TV, and this is what they showed, and this is probably what he watched so that he could make his, you know, quite horrific, offensive, and disgusting comments.
And the thing about Howard's comments, okay, listen, he has a right to say whatever the fuck he wants. That's, no one's gonna fucking argue with that shit. The fact is, his comments are just weird. I mean, are we supposed to laugh at this? Are we supposed to be shocked by this? Is this supposed to be provocative? It's just, once again, it's kind of lazy radio. He's not really. What are we supposed to do with the shit that's coming out of his mouth? You know.
Then and now. Well, we're all super fans, right? Everyone's 99's kind of a prime year. Who was laughing at this? You remember listening to this? I mean, we all remember at least a couple of these days. Did anybody cackle with him doing this?
No.
Did you kind of
It was
think,
just
what
kinda
is
like-
he doing here?
No.
Yeah.
He's a sociopath. This
Yeah,
isn't shtick for air. He's a piece of shit. He's a sociopath.
Well, let
This
me
is
ask you
just
a question.
world's
Should I
oldest
play
teenager.
the Captain Junk's phony phone call first?
Yeah,
Do
it's
it. Go for it. Let's do
Okay,
this.
let me play that
That's
first.
really
Real quick.
humanitarian.
Hang on.
And they were shooting people. One of the guys was saying, "This is because you made fun of. I got made fun of last year."
Yeah, did you hear Captain Jenks' phony phone call? So like, everyone was calling here, like, I put him up to it, and I was like, oh, please.
Well, you know what's
Congressman Serrano called. He was upset about the phone call. And I'm like,
Jay?
I have nothing to do with this.
We don't even hardly know Jenks.
Yeah, you don't hardly know him, but
you play his shit.
You'll take the
Constantly.
publicity. You'll take
Exactly.
the national promotion.
That's
on
right.
International promotion on CNN.
Yeah?
You'll
Yeah.
totally
Right.
take it, and then not pay him, and then not
you
hire him.
hardly know him. But wait 2 more seconds, and I guarantee you we will play that clip for you so that you can hear it, just in case. But we don't know you, But you
He
did
doesn't
this.
even have the balls to own this.
Listen
I mean,
to the
bro,
technology.
it's like, then don't play
thing.
it. If you can
Listen
play
to
it,
the
then own
technology.
it.
It's so funny. Here, listen.
I know. He is a lone operator.
He'd be in the trench coat mob.
In the middle of like this horrible shooting, 25 people dead, kids. So I have it because Laura sent it to me on my computer. This is really cool technology, aside from the fact that this is a phony phone call. She can just capture it right away and send it to me on my computer. The whole file. Here, I think this will work. Let me see if I can do this on the
It's interesting technology, but we're not sure it works.
Well, you never know.
This is the MP3
Here,
origins.
wait. I don't know how it'll sound. I'm playing this off my computer. Okay? Here you go.
Sarah Spalding from Swedish Medical Center has an update for us, and this is an interview recorded a short time ago. 4 of the injured are at Swedish Medical Center. Oh, Sarah's on the phone with us. Sarah, can you give us an update on the conditions?
Yes, so far it is 18 people that are critically injured. We don't know much more past that, but we do know one thing. The gunman was Howard Stern. He was shooting up the whole school. It was ridiculous. He was angry because nobody was watching his Saturday night television.
Apparently that was not Sarah Spalding, and someone else is calling in, and...
He'll take the promotion. Make no mistake, he loves it.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, if you're gonna be fucking playing that, then don't be a pussy about it. Oh, I don't know this guy. Well, then why are you playing it?
Marta, you are 100% correct. In 1999, this was right after Private Parts. This is when he was really full of himself, yet he was still playing like the shticky, like a shock jockey kind of guy, and he was very full of himself, and he believed his own hype, and he stopped being funny. He did. He was just, that was a bad year. 99 was a bad year for Howard. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of sucked.
That's what. Isn't that when he bought the rights to Porky's or some shit like that?
Yeah, it was when all these fake projects were
around
coming
the
out.
time.
The production company had at least 10 things that never came out.
The Porky's and Howard
He just
Stern's
loves
high
the
school
announcement. He
years
just
and
loves
all
the
that.
announcement. The Robert Schimmel Show and Doomsday.
Doomsday's right. Doomsday.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the clip of what was going on at the school. It's just a really quick news clip. So here we go.
Just another school day at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. What happened there on April 20th, 1999, however, has gone down in history as one of the nation's worst criminal acts. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold unleashed their fury at the world when on that Tuesday they entered school grounds and went on a 49-minute rampage that left 15 people dead and 23 others wounded. The violence began outside of the building, where they shot classmates out eating lunch. They roamed the halls and the cafeteria, setting off bombs and shooting indiscriminately. Most of the carnage, though, took place in the library. There, the 18-year-old Harris and the 17-year-old Klebold taunted students who hid under desks. They shot some at point-blank range and killed others by shooting randomly under tables. One survivor, who was badly injured, was able to crawl out a window where SWAT team members carried him to safety. It would become one of the most indelible images of that day. Outside the school, chaos reigned as students and faculty were led out by police with their hands up. They then sprinted to friends and loved ones for emotional reunions. Back inside, Klebold and Harris, who'd killed 12 classmates and a teacher, committed suicide, though it would be the next day before authorities deemed the school safe for others to enter.
Okay. So that was basically the story that everybody saw at the same time. And he didn't really know how to feel about this or react. And somebody mentioned it in the chat just a little bit earlier. His daughter was coming into work the next day.
Yeah.
It was Take Your Daughter to Work Day.
That's right.
So he brought her in to talk about what was going on with it. But before he did that, he took this call. Just so you know, I can't find this anywhere on the interwebs. So thank you, Steve S., for sending this to me.
He's the best. He's come through so many times.
Yeah.
In our
so
Gunk
let's just hear Howard's most ridiculous comments on this. Here we go.
Here's some kids who said they were in the school when it happened. Hey, John.
Yeah.
Yo.
How's it going?
All right.
This is Howard?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I lived like a mile and a half from the school, man. I had a couple friends that were there, and I talked to them yesterday.
What'd they say?
They said that it was just a bunch of chaos, shooting, and...
Boy, a bunch of good-looking girls go to that school. That guy was right. The guy who called in, he was a little too excited, but there was like really good-looking girls running out of there with their hands over their heads.
Yeah, I think the bomb teams are still working.
Did those kids try to have sex with any of the good-looking girls? They didn't even do that. At least if you're going to go kill yourself and kill all the kids, like, why wouldn't you have some sex?
What a stupid
I would think that I would want some sex.
It's called rape.
If I was going to kill some people,
It's
I'd
not
take
even
them
a
out with
joke.
sex.
It's a stupid, like...
I guess they were getting a rush from what they were doing.
They said when, like, these guys were really against the good-looking girls because the good-looking girls wouldn't pay attention to them. I think the good-looking girls would be begging them to live, and they go, you don't have to beg because you're going to be dead in a minute.
Don't cry, because you're
Don't
gonna be
cry.
dead.
Yeah.
See that one little blurb? It's like there was some girl, she was trying to hide under the table, and he came up behind her and goes, peekaboo, and puts the gun right up to her neck.
Yeah, one guy was saying that, you know,
Tessa's
a girl
next,
was
right?
running down the hall, and her head popped open, you know, because she just got shot.
Wow.
Some people thought they were paintballs at first.
Right. Yeah, they thought it was paintballs.
Yeah, or smoke bombs, any kind of thing. They didn't think it was real.
Sometimes.
So, yeah.
You got three
have sex with
sociopaths talking. Tess is next, Fred. Right? How does that go with that? Take your daughter to work day, everyone. Yeah, David C. Dude taught his fans nothing is off limits, unless it's him and his kids.
The obvious sentence is, why wouldn't you have sex with them? It's like, that's rape at gunpoint? Is this essentially what you're saying? I mean, it's just... It brings it back.
What is that commentary? Is it It's not satire. It's nothing. It's crap. It's lowbrow bullshit. He has no repartee except go to that. Have sex with what?
There's some kids who said they were.
A couple friends that were there.
Jackie's
I
gone,
talked
by
to
the
them
way.
yesterday.
What'd they say?
Or is he? No,
They said that it was just a bunch of chaos, shooting, and...
Boy, a bunch of good-looking girls go to that school. That guy was right. The guy who called in, he was a little too excited, but there was like really good-looking girls running out of there with their hands over their heads.
Yeah, I think the bomb teams are still working.
Did those kids try to have sex with any of the good-looking girls? They didn't even do that. At least if you're going to go kill yourself and kill all the kids, like, why wouldn't you have some sex?
Help me understand
Huck
that.
Finn, that's a great comment. You posted arm. That's Howard writing his own joke. That's exactly right. That's what left to his own devices. That's what you get. And Millie Bobby Brown.
You mean that there isn't like a little piece of paper in Jackie's historical documentation right now with that joke on them?
Yes, Stig, we were looking for that. We were looking for that. If that was the comment that got Howard Show taken off, because I couldn't find anywhere that was
Pretty
actually.
sure that's what happened.
Because Xavier had said that, and I was like, I'm not sure. I don't see it anywhere. I don't see I don't see it historically written anywhere. But Xavier was sure that that's what happened, and that they were taken out of Denver after this happened.
Yeah, well, tough titties. He had free speech and everything. That's all good, but you say something stupid like that, you gotta expect a little repercussion from it.
He's revealing his pedophilia hand to Azores. You're right.
Yeah,
he's basically like in his late 40s, ogling high school girls. I mean,
and not only that, listen. Maybe it's hindsight's 20/20 or whatever. Just eyes in. He seemed to be. His nipples seem to be particularly stimulated by the fact that these girls were coming out with their hands up. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like he kind of fixated like that. These teenage girls in distress somehow gave him a chubby.
Well, let's talk to Grillo and act like when he had a gun pulled on him, what he did compared to
exactly. He really got himself a gun. And
the guy that ran from a Logie is all of a sudden dictating tempo of what to do during a school shooting, apparently.
Like Melvin is saying here, this is just 90s shock jockery, the dismissive yet aggressive tone and attitude of Wig, Robin, and Fred. We're too cool and edgy, neckbeards.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're right, though.
Yeah, it's like...
I just hate the way they started the show with, chuckling about it. And,
it's no...
although it's
listen,
him
at this point they had... This is pretty around the time when they started using the Jackie laugh, like a couple years into it, where it would be like an inappropriate story of some horrible macabre shit going down, and it would be like hee, 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 hee. So this is Howard trying to do that in real time, and it's just
too soon. It was too soon.
Yeah, and listen,
literally too soon.
At the time, I don't think you would have a bigger Howard fan than me at the time. Yeah. He was my he was my cup of joe in the morning going to work. Listening to this guy say rando stuff.
Yeah.
But that it's like what, like John said, what are we supposed to do? Laugh?
What do you do with that? What do you do with that?
It's like
do that one in front of a live. I'd be interested if the show was live and they did it in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And he tried that shit. What do you sit there staring at him going, what, like? And they kind of probably a little bit before they went on and go, I'm gonna start off with Columbine, and they kind of know the vibe. And you just got three sociopaths there who have no, dog in the.
They kind of use this as one. There's several reasons Howard claimed that he was going to go to satellite, for censorship and shit. They kind of use this, not like indirectly referencing to, but kind of like alluding to the fact that shit like this is why they need to go to free speech satellite, and like what, 7 years later they did, once the whole satellite thing happened, they went back at this, and then the whole Janet Jackson nip slip, and somehow Howard was a victim of everything that the FCC was doing.
It was satellites and no accountability cash grab.
Yeah.
It's like the goal is, how can I do as little live radio as possible and get paid the most money? That's the goal. That's it.
No, you're exactly right.
Distill it down to that, and I have, and I've thought that for years and years.
Like Cindy said, if Howard's daughters experienced this, it would have been an entirely different
Imagine
show.
that.
Okay, so let's hear what what went on the next day as he talks to Deborah about the shootings. Here we go.
Your gay theory's right too, GK.
What's up with that? And drove a BMW to school.
Hey, Deborah.
He couldn't get girls.
Never embarrass me by shooting up all your classmates. I just want to go on record saying that. And tell your sisters that, too.
Yeah, because, the parents are holed up in the house.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going on. And, right away, now the kids are dead, so who are they going to blame? The parents.
Right, of course. Everybody's wondering about them.
And if my kids go out and shoot everybody, then they're going to come over to me.
What are you going to say?
They're going to say, man, you were a crappy father. I'm going, you know what? I thought I did a good job. I don't know. I told the kids to leave their guns in the room. What's up with that? Yeah, no bringing your gun to school.
I know, magic.
You don't have any. Seriously, did you have like an announcement made in school?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Did you talk about it?
Yeah, every 2 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it annoying?
Yeah.
Like, how'd they break the news? Did you already know about it, or did they break the news to you?
I knew about it.
Oh. So what happens? Like the principal says some stuff or something?
Yeah.
They have a big meeting?
Was it an assembly?
No.
How much does he know his child that he doesn't know that it was something that maybe the school talked to them about the day before? Like, did you not go home from work that day and say, hey, kids, did you hear about the shooting today? And did anybody at school talk to you about it? Is there anything you want to talk about? Do you want to sit and have like a little, rap session about what went on and how this went down? You know what I mean?
But look at the high school they go to, Monique. You know Long Island, not quite as well as I do, but North Nassau County, the highest rich percentile of Jewish. There's absolutely no chance any of that would happen at a school like that. They have no, they're so removed from reality that they can't even relate to that potentially even happening there. She sounds like a sociopath. By the way, that's the middle daughter with Howard's grandpa.
It's annoying. Wait, when I stopped it, and I should have continued playing it, but give me a second.
Stuff or something?
Yeah.
They have a big meeting?
Was it an assembly?
No, it was like in every single class. They talked about it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, please don't shoot me. Was what
did they say?
Started.
I don't know.
You don't know. I like that. I like that you don't know. I like, teachers think they're doing such a good job. We're going to have a big rap session, kids, about the shooting.
Hey, kids?
Yeah, and it's like, well, hey, Deborah, what'd you learn? I don't know.
What'd they say?
A kid knows nothing. She loves not to know. We love
we are Stearns.
Stupidity.
We are Stearns. We love not knowing.
Low IQ. That fucking Beavis and Butthead laugh he tried to steal, him and Ralph.
Jeez.
Jerking each other off to spring break.
Jeez. Azor says if a DJ said that the Nazis should have sex with the Holocaust women before gassing them, would 79 be okay with it? It depends. You know what it depends on? It depends on whether or not his friends out in the Hamptons are okay with it.
That's right.
That's what it depends on, because he's only as good as his last conversation. And you're right, Ida. I don't know any kid who would answer the question that way. Okay, hold on.
It's like she was coached, right?
I was teaching then. The students were a mess. I don't know.
Interesting, Ida. That's
I don't know.
Where did you teach?
It's really annoying to talk about. I
Was
really
she
don't want
coached
to talk
without
about
answering
it.
me?
It's so
She wants to act
annoying.
cool in front of her dad.
It's so annoying. And she has that horrible Long Island accent. It's really
She's 1 year
annoying.
away from overdosing on the Jingle Ball. Ecstasy.
I don't know, Daddy. It's just annoying.
How old was she at the time?
Probably
So it's 99,
16,
so let's figure it out.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Oh, this is another thing. Apparently, I'm getting like some shit about because I actually know his daughter's names and what they do for a living.
Oh, I'm proud of that. Are you kidding me? I'm worse than
We-
Monique is, Julie. Go after me.
We run a
I'm way
Stern
worse.
forum, you retard.
Maybe if you knew the name of the kids, you still have a job there.
Hey, don't bust kill my High School Massacre. Thank you. Thank you.
You're so right, Billy Blunder. Young Deborah sounds like Beth. Absolutely.
Only Julie can make this more depressing.
Whiny, a little vocal fry, a little nasally.
She's a kid. She sounds like a kid.
She sounds like a kid, but
She
she sounds
sounds
like
like
a
a
very bored,
kid.
affected teenager.
North
That's what she
Nassau,
sounds
Long
like. I'm
Island
not going
Jap.
to pick on her. I don't really give a shit. But
Doesn't sound like a Arabian horse like his wife.
Exactly.
So there's that.
Ida Greenfield, outside of Chicago, she coached everything, including basketball, track, and gymnastics. Wow! Look at
Dang.
that. Damn, Ida. We were like, you know.
Did you run the
if
triangle
you were my
offense,
teacher, I
Ida?
would 1,000% say, "Oh my God, that's my really cool dykey gym teacher."
Ida, you know how many
All my
technical
female gym
fouls I would
teachers
give
were
you?
lesbians.
You know how many technical fouls I would give you? Ida?
You know what? She established herself in the paint. That's all that matters, John.
3 seconds. 3 seconds.
3 seconds, exactly.
And I explained,
She's gonna run that.
3-second rules. When they're
she's gonna run the
taking a
triangle
shot, I don't
offense,
count three-
and it's
What the
yeah.
hell are you guys talking about?
nothing.
Ida knows.
Ida knows exactly what it is.
Exactly.
It's funny if she didn't know.
It's, you know what? It's
Okay,
like-
so what you're watching as we're talking this through is the entirety of what happened via the videotapes that were running during the learning time that they were in the school, and the shootings go on for about 45 minutes all in.
Can I ask a question about high school, or Tiger Lily would know too? How long have cameras been in school for? Is this one of the
Since
early?
this.
It's just, I mean,
I think after this, it was pretty much every school adopted this sort of surveillance.
Yeah, I mean, these were kind of shitty at the time, but it was 99. I mean, so
Yeah,
there
I know,
wasn't
this is
really...
like, I don't
You know,
remember.
these cameras apparently were set up prior to this to like look out for pink bellies and wedgies and purple nurples.
Right.
So it's like I don't think
Pushing
they
somebody's
counted on
lunch tray on the
catching what
floor.
they did.
So is this a bomb going off or something? Is that what
Yeah,
happened here?
the propane canister, whatever. I'm a charcoal guy. Sorry, I know I cut some flack
I
earlier.
am too. I am too.
You didn't know that. You know what? I am a charcoal guy. Sorry.
What's charcoal?
Is there anything better than the smell of Burger King when you're driving around?
Oh,
It just
yeah,
sucks you
absolutely.
right in. Oh.
Absolutely.
Why don't I know what's
Triple
going on?
Whopper.
So I'm a
Charcoal grill he's
propane
talking about.
nerd. Sorry, guys.
He's talking about grilling, not
So,
asparagus.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I don't do charcoal.
So yeah, they use all kinds of improvised weapons of explosion that most of them failed miserably. One did go off, and the cafeteria did catch fire, which set off the
Is that
sprinkler
what we're
system.
looking at now?
Probably. So when the SWAT showed up, there was like a foot of water. So they're walking, making all this noise in water, and they were kind of not thrilled about walking through that water making noise. So
It's crazy. Now imagine if technology were further along. We had cameras in school, cell phone
oh, bro,
cameras.
there would be like
You'd have
1,000
everything.
versions of this on
All these
Twitter.
idiot kids, all these fucking moron kids would be underneath these desks with their
Filming everything.
cameras
Yep.
Yeah.
trying to film the friggin' guys.
Yep.
That's what they'd be doing. Instead of trying to save their lives and run out the goddamn doors, they'd be trying to film this.
There'd be a
Yeah,
propane
well.
app.
It's so stupid. Okay,
It's
let's see what Stig
it's a
has to
different
say.
world.
Yes.
I mean, I
well,
think
hey.
the Nokia Razr was the top phone.
It
Or
wasn't
the-
even out yet.
The Sidekick, or whatever it was
Yeah.
called.
T-Mobile version.
That was like, I think playing Worm on your phone was as complicated as shit got.
Stig says, I'm in the AV industry. After this incident, I was installing huge camera emergency systems all over the country in every type of school imaginable. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Stig's a
I'm
cool
sure- yeah.
dude. He's great in the Deppening thread.
Good for business, I
want to
guess,
thank
right?
everybody that was in the Deppening thread the last few days. I know it's a slog. We're trying to make it interesting, but I love everybody in there. It's a very, very similar crowd that's in here now. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
As it would be. I mean, it's good that we have like good loyal followers. That's like the most
and the
amazing
comments
thing.
are so better than the show, as always.
And-
when you and Xavier you popped in, it was like I said, it's like Nick Fury showing up in the Avengers and just leaves.
I popped in a couple of
Just
times.
Yeah, Jeremy, that was the first clip I played, was when they were talking about how cool they looked in their trench coats. I'll play that again because it was good. It's right at the beginning.
Well, this whole take your daughter to work thing got started, and quite frankly, I'm happy to have her at school because there's too many shootings going on in these schools.
That's true. It could be safer here than there.
Yeah. Although, I don't know, I think we got our own trench coat mafia right here. I don't want to name names. To be honest with you. I think Casey's in there.
What moniker are they going by, and where's their website so I can see what day they're going to shoot us?
Casey, Fred, and Scott the engineer. Trench coat mafia. Would ye? Come in their black coats and blow everyone away.
I mean, if you see a kid in school in a black coat, get rid of him.
Actually, I mean, it sounded like a cool outfit. It was like black trench coats. No, it was black trench coats and black eye makeup.
Yeah, but they also wore fatigues.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
Well, that's that cool.
Idiot. Just an idiot. All right, so continue on with our little discussion about these guys.
And Howard playing the victim afterwards. Like, free speech.
Monique, did you go through how much Steve S gave you 2 weeks of shows worth from the 2 weeks in April in '99?
I think it was maybe like 6 shows he gave me. I'm not really sure.
So I'm
because he wasn't sure where it was in the play.
Right.
And he's like, you're just going to have to go through them because I'm not really sure exactly when he said it. So, of course, I laboriously went through days 1 and 2 to find out when it was.
Did you go to the news at the end, too?
I did not.
They circle back. A lot of times they'll circle back to the big story, Robin Wells. I bet you there's a lot of juicy shit in there we could mine from that, or could have.
Well, because the big content takeaway from this whole thing is, right, that's exactly right, Sunflower Dragon. Casey still smells good. You are 1,000% correct.
Yum, yum.
Num, 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 num.
She's an ass kicker on her Deppening through. She knows a lot about legalese stuff. Really, really sharp cat.
Uh-oh.
Broad.
Num, 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 num. Hold on, I just wanted to share something really quick.
Eyes up here, ladies.
Hello. Hello. Hold on. Let me just click this.
Well, it's, obviously there's no Stern this week. So we were just kind of thinking about what, we like to throw in a bonus show just for shits and giggles, nothing.
It's a really good idea.
And it's like, okay, he's off 420. Look, I mean, what hasn't happened on 420? You have Hitler's birthday. The day before, you have the Oklahoma bombing. You have the Waco siege. You have the Deep Horizon disaster. You have National Banana Day. And you have Columbine.
And then you have somebody coming in an hour late who's probably a little bit drunk right now. So there's that.
No, it was only 3/4 of a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
You are way overmodulated.
Hold on. I'll turn this thing down.
What a background.
Okay, everybody,
Dennis.
duck and cover under the tables, boys and girls.
Duck and cover.
All right, hold on. I'm adjusting this a little bit. I didn't touch anything.
You sound a little robotic. Can you say no parking on the dance floor?
No parking on the dance floor.
No. You're so overmodulated. I'm frightened by you. Take your little knob that's on your microphone itself.
And turn it to like 10 o'clock.
And turn it to like...
It's at 9. It's at 9 o'clock.
Keep going.
8.
Well, then, you know what? It's the settings under... Then if
I did his settings already
It's under settings.
I'm sorry.
I did his settings already.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's time for you, Dennis, to go, I'll be your freakazoid. Come on and wind me
sounds
up.
good.
He's much better now.
That's really weird.
You sound
weird.
perfect now.
I haven't touched anything. Okay, that's great.
Now sounds fantastico.
Fantastico.
Except for you have the poltergeist coming over your right shoulder. Other than that.
He was testing out his green
leave it.
screen.
Don't you dare touch it.
Leave
it.
Don't touch it. It's really perfection.
That background is too good, Dennis. I can't get my eyes off it. I'm looking at the if it's low tide or high tide in South. I want to piss in that ocean so bad. One of these days, I'm gonna come up like a Navy SEAL and just pop out of the water when they're walking from that effing boardwalk.
Should I tell the story? Should I tell the Howard Stern story? Let me finish this. Let's
do this.
Okay, let's finish this. Okay, Howard Stern under fire from Colorado Assembly. In late April, the Colorado General Assembly passed a resolution 57-4 that radio shock jock Howard Stern would be censured. This was May 3rd, 1999. In late April, Howard Stern be censured for apologize for comments he made regarding the Columbine High School tragedy. The state Senate subsequently voted to approve the anti-Stern measure 34-1. House Joint Resolution stated that Stern should be censured and that the general manager of KXPX-FM should send a letter of apology to Columbine High School as a demonstration of their personal responsibility for their offensive and thoughtless comments. Resolution also states that Chancellor Media Corporation discontinue airing Stern's radio program within Colorado, and then KCNC discontinue broadcast of the televised Howard Stern radio show. KXPX subsequently issued an apology for Stern's comments, and I don't think he ever did, by the way. And KCNC said it would preempt broadcast of the television show this week for a special on the shooting. According to resolution, members of the media broadcasting companies need to be accountable for the tasteless and inappropriate comments made during such a period of grief and devastation. April 21st, 1999, one day after the Littleton High School shooting, Stern discussed the tragedy on his nationally syndicated morning show. Stern reportedly commented a bunch of good-looking girls go to that school. They were like really good-looking girls running out there with their hands over their heads. Did those kids try to have sex with any of the good-looking girls? They didn't even do that. At least if you're going to kill yourself and kill all the kids, why wouldn't you have some sex? Denver's Rocky Mountain News editorialized this on April 26th that crude, pointless exploitation of tragedy for humor is or ought to be beyond the pale in the commercial media. Let Howard Stern make his millions in other broadcast markets. He does not belong in Denver. Colorado resolution has no legally binding force. Stated they want creators of movies, TV shows, video games, and exercise to remove the gratuitous violence and sex they say contributes to violent acts by children. Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah.
So much for that.
Yeah. Scott Bailey, the trench scarf mafia.
That's funny.
Brilliant.
Marta loves Dennis's background. Has nothing like incest to compliment Columbine.
Isn't it romantic?
Isn't it indeed?
Okay, interesting. All right, Xavier, you still have the floor, so I want you to continue with this until you think you have pretty much done with it.
Well, I mean,
so basically what happened is that video that I was playing and that you guys were kind of looking through as we're going through this horrific event of that day.
You want me to?
I'm
going to share that picture I told you about earlier.
We will. There's a lot of going back and forth to the cafeteria, to the library, etc., etc. And then you see the kids go back into the cafeteria because their bombs wouldn't explode. There's that pretty classic image somewhere around here. Let me see if I can find it exactly. Bear with me, because the boys are still on their rampage, which lasted about 45 minutes before they decided to kill themselves.
But from start to finish, it was like about 3 hours before the SWAT actually got in and.
Well, they left the bodies all in there so that they could actually go through and.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as
parents freaking out outside.
And the reason, I'm sure everybody knows this because there's been a million documentaries, is that there was a rumor. There was a rumor that the actual gunman had swapped clothes and blended in with the rest of the high school kids.
Ran out with the rest of the kids.
So when as they were going from room to room, with all these, there was a ton of people barricaded inside. They had to put your hands up. They had to be frisked. They had to make sure that that in fact wasn't someone trying to get the fuck out, blending in because they were kids, and that's what all the cops knew, that they were teenagers shooting teenagers. So that's why
a lot of kids called in to say we're trapped here in our room. Kind of reminded me a little bit of All of Us Are Dead, where they're basically trapped in their school while all the zombies are outside trying to attack them.
And not only that, the kids that were barricaded, they didn't know if the people talking to them on their side of the door, if it was a trick, So once the cops assume that maybe there was a gunman inside one of the rooms, and the kids inside the rooms assume that the gunmen were the ones trying to tell them to open the door.
But wasn't there a recent shooting where the kid was at the door?
It was just chaos.
And said, "Let me in."
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
There's so many shootings.
I don't even remember what shooting it was.
Yeah.
How about that?
So
every 2 weeks.
So
what then?
All right. Yeah. Well, look back to Howard on this. So it is truly amazing that the Teflon shock jock didn't get in any. I mean, he really didn't get into much trouble at all. I mean, I heard
he
this.
didn't care if he lost one.
But I mean, and that's really just it truly is amazing of how nothing sticks to this scumbag. Nothing. Nothing. I mean,
you're right.
This is despicable. I mean, despicable on so many levels. And I mean, the thing about having sex with the girls before you kill them. I remember him saying that and going, "What the hell are you saying, dude? Like that's disturbing. That's sociopath. He is a sociopath."
Yeah, exactly. We got to place yourself. You're a parent, Dennis. There's a lot of parents in the chat. What you hear this, and your kids in that school. Come on,
well, it doesn't matter.
No
it's just
taking
being
it. There's
human.
no good
it's
way to
humans.
take it. It's yeah. Well, humanity's even enhanced when you have kids.
Well, I
so
understand it, but he has three. He had 3 daughters at this time. Three daughters this time.
And one's in there right now, Dan. Deborah's in there right now.
Well, not right now, but in 1999 she was.
She was in the studio the next day.
Deb is in Sirius Studio 69 right now.
Oh, we were also saying, which was really amazing, is that all these kids from Columbine are like 41, 42 years old
40s,
now.
yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
They're like Emily,
in other words,
Emily's Stern age.
They're too old for Howard.
Because it's all about money, guys. He brings in the advertising for them, and they'll have his back. It's all about money.
Yeah.
It's not about humanity. They don't care about
Hey,
any
listen.
of the shit. They are soulless.
I mean, full disclosure, it didn't stop me from listening to him after that.
No, it didn't me.
So it's like, I mean, you got to point the finger at yourself sometimes,
Well, you're right.
It was, but the backlash was so minimal to him, which was really kind of strange.
There should have been way more. Today there would be, right?
Oh no! Even today, I don't think anything would happen to him. No, I seriously don't. I really don't. I mean, because he
is Teflon.
He's Teflon.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's, and it could have been anything, and he would just still get away with just saying really idiotic things, and. That are just they're not. There's no humanity behind what he says, and it's not about being shocking. It's just being a terrible human being.
Well, I mean, listen. People accuse me of being too fucking liberal on our site because I let some really horrible opinions just float, and I'm a big freedom of speech guy. I think Howard absolutely had the right to say what he did, but the fact that there was no repercussions as far as like advertisers say, man, that guy's really fucked up. Fuck
you
that.
Say whatever you want. Just
maybe we don't need to sell our.
Because it's not your right.
Yeah, we don't need to sell our ball cheese powder through the Stern Show anymore. It's just it's just kind of,
But I mean, there's a fine line between satire and just sociopath.
Yeah, and that's
is it satire though?
Well, there is none.
This wasn't satire. This was just
none though.
This was just creepy. Thoughts being
creepy
aired
stupidity.
on air.
It's just stupid.
It's just creepy. There's no.
It was creepy. It's not even stupidity. It's creepy.
It's just gross.
And he really, this is truly, the Selena thing was minor compared to this. I mean, if you really think about the level of sociopathic behavior.
It was a sound effect versus, hey, why didn't you rape those girls?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I mean, essentially.
Yeah, the reason Howard got suspended for the bit about the airline accident in D.C. is because when he was in D.C., he wasn't the Howard Stern that the broadcasters knew of today. Not today, but of 1999, where he had millions and millions of listeners. So it was, they always had to kind of weigh the balance between, losing out on the revenue, the ads, the listeners, or do you just let shit go? And I will always contend that there was always a kitty of money for FCC fines, etc. Howard never, ever paid anything out of pocket. Howard never lost a dollar.
No. Was it Mel? Was it Mel Comerzon? He said that he's the one like, whatever. It's like, they fine him X amount, but he brings in this much amount. So it's
Yeah, he had to weigh the differences. That's why DC, who cared? You know, that was when he was younger and he was stupider, if that's possible.
Did you say cadre or Katie? What'd you say? Katie
What?
of money? Katie of money, did you say?
What?
A KD of money, did you say?
Cadre.
Cadre.
Okay, I thought I heard
Cadre.
Katie. Cadre tour.
I don't even know what I say sometimes, you guys. I mean, really, after it's gone.
What did I hear there? Was it Katie?
It's lost in the ether after that.
Vernacular is fascinating.
Howard Stern, click, click, that South
that's
African
right.
Charlize Theron, and nothing happened. And that was only like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. That was also like, what the hell? Like, really?
That's right. That's right.
And she kind of just like stopped for. She actually kind of stopped and went.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But
She's got a movie to sell, Dennis. It's not about morals.
But
It's not
here's
about
the thing.
Yeah, I know.
any of that. It's
Here's the
about
thing,
selling
and this
their
brings
movie.
us back to kind of,
For
you know,
his
there's a whole point of this
crowd of 40,000 people.
podcast, is
What
that
was it?
he just can't take it when the shoe's on the other foot. No matter
Forget
who
it.
is,
Forget it. Not
I
even
mean,
close.
he can
Dennis.
make the click, click, clicks, or you know, the rapey jokes on this,
Yep.
whatever. But the
know where you're
second is she gets turned on him for a second, like, was it Elle McPherson that said something about
Yeah.
slap with a yarmulke,
Slap the
or
no, that's Jamie Presley.
Jamie Presley,
Lee
and then,
Presley.
but
That's why
but,
she's on
but
our,
Elle McPherson said something similar, and Howard just goes into, and it's just that you could see like he just can't take it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
for-
What's the Elle McPherson comment, guys? I can't remember the.
I don't remember, but it was
can't remember how it
somewhere
goes.
along. I'm sure by tomorrow we'll know.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
somebody will get
it was
Sure,
very
in 5
similar.
minutes on the thread on the chat. We'll know.
Yeah, we'll have it in 20
Yeah.
seconds.
I think he asked her like, "Do I look, you know, Jewish or whatever?" And or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
something
yes.
along those lines. And she's like, "Yeah,
Jewish
duh."
mother, Scout Finch.
She called her
She's
Jewish
just
mother.
like, "Are you kidding?" Yeah.
David, of course, always coming out with the brilliant prose, says
so
Howard
smart.
being a public conflation of Jackie being funny and Howard being sociopathic made it hard to deprogram as a hater of the show until the funny was completely gone. You realize he's a sociopath.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah.
He really is.
David, those gems.
So someone's saying she called him a Jewish mother.
Yeah, okay. That's
He
good.
looks
That's
like
good
one
enough.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you know.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. Christ's sake, is more Teflon than an engagement chicken pan at Gordon Ramsay's residence, for Christ's sake. G. Canada,
by the way, Dennis
G. Canada's
Del Miller-
accused me of writing my own material for that. You're so full of shit, G. Canada.
And hey,
So
just out of
off.
curiosity, because you know, like Mo and I like to shoot the shit about stuff like this. And we're not done with this by any stretch of the imagination. Is there any seminal moments in the Stern Show that we're not thinking of that you guys would want us to kind of do one of these little hybrid shows on? Is there anything
Yeah,
else?
think that
you know?
through a little bit.
Yeah, I mean we have a lot of time.
Well, you know what?
You know?
The Magic Hour was.
We have a lot
no,
of
no.
time.
I
Well-
definitely want to do the magic hour.
Well, actually,
Yeah, for sure.
It's not a one moment, but when Robin was not in studio for a year,
Yeah, was it? I thought it was more than a year. Seems like
18 months. It was 18,
It seemed
18
Yeah.
like 2. Yeah, it seemed
It
long.
was. I think it was 18 months, and it was. She was not on the show for a solid. It was almost a year, a solid amount of time. She was not on the show. We
And
really need to deep
who-
dive into that because
who did-
now they're
we-
going.
we
She
rec-
never missed a show.
She's so innocuous you didn't even notice half the time. I mean, not
No,
more
you
than half
did.
the
You
time.
noticed when she wasn't there. You knew. You knew
we-
she
Well, the
wasn't there.
news. I mean, the news
Yeah,
is
exactly.
part of the show.
But in
We
terms
rec-
of like contributing.
We recently talked to we talked to someone who was in charge of sending the engineer out to her house whenever shit went bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's just the lengths that the most honest show on radio.
I love
went
this
to-
idea, Autobot. Suicide
Oh,
Jumper.
the Suicide
that's a
Jumper,
good one.
yeah.
We should definitely do that one.
We should definitely do that one.
Yeah,
I'm
that
writing it
was
down right now.
that was a moment right there.
That was
That he took full credit for.
total full credit.
Yeah, yeah.
Took full,
That's
full
exactly
credit for it.
Do you guys think that was fake or what was I mean, I just heard I've heard the
I
audio.
heard it
on it.
live.
I don't know.
I heard it live. It's hard to tell, especially knowing what I know now. I'm almost leaning on it was fake. I really am. I'm actually kind of leaning it was
I
on
might be
fake.
with you, Dennis.
Oh, John DeBella's wife for a Dial a Date. Yeah, that was
There's
pretty.
my whole,
that
there's
was
so many
low.
ways
That
to
was
go.
really low.
That was really low.
That was really low.
Have we ever actually? Is it even worth it going to a deep dive over skull fucking a dead father?
Ooh.
To a man cow?
Yeah, man cow. I mean, that's
that's not a bad way to go.
Yeah, we can do like again. We can do like a segment of a show, because I mean it's something that's constantly brought up, but it'd be interesting to see like to actually dive into what led up to that and how comfortable Howard was saying that he's gonna skull fuck someone's dead dad.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that one live too.
And considering what he's talking, how he's talking about his dad now, does that mean that it's fair game that he did it to someone else? If he's basically saying he's gonna skull fucking his dad's body when he finally kicks it.
We did a show about the serial killer.
That's what got us started.
We have a show called Things That Go Gunk in the Night. This is why this is kind of like a hybrid show we're doing tonight. Because we wanted to talk about the Columbine thing since it's the anniversary, but we also wanted to say what a disgusting, vile human being Howard was when it came to all these kids getting shot. That's basically what we wanted to do today. So yeah, I'm really loving the magic hour thing. I love the suicide jumper. I think that's like I think that's a good yeah.
Well,
I really would. You know what? I think we should do a little thing on the on fucking cow guy, whatever fuck his name is.
Man cow,
because it's something that gets brought up all the fucking time. But do we know the actual, like what actually went down that day, whatever? I'd like to find out.
Well, it's a radio feud. He thought he wants to stamp out everybody. No, you're not allowed to have
when he used to do the funerals and shit like
Chicago.
that.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
He used to do the funerals, but then that's just kind of disgusting to.
No, it's a hideous radio feud.
Even like at the height of my fandom for him, when I heard that, like, wow, that's pretty fucked up.
But the DeBella wife thing, that was pretty. That whole saga is pretty bad. That's really
Kathy
dark.
Lee Gifford thing. I think we should do Kathy Lee Gifford.
Cody and Cassidy all the time.
You can do it.
I have to admit,
I mean, if we're talking about things that happened on the show that were a specific thing, a caller, the serial killer thing.
Yeah, but you need a whole show, Monique. You can't have one little moment. It's not
why? We just made one little moment into a whole show.
Yeah, I know, but you want to.
This is what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what we do. See, here's what's happening to you. You're getting a little spoiled and jaded because here you are doing these 8-hour shows. And you're like, piece of cake, it's nothing.
Sarah's got the penthouse schematic for Saturday.
I have
so
to
we have
say,
the penthouse layout. She's going over the.
I have to say, I was at a bar. Imagine that.
No, really.
And they had part of the trial on there, and I was actually engrossed by it. I'm going, that looks like a nut house. I mean, everything about that looked insane on that trial.
You should have made the bartender turn the Deppening feed on, Dennis, for everybody to watch, so you can see the comments.
You should hear John talking about how Johnny's picking the 9-iron for this for the fairway.
Yeah, but he sounded like he was a golf commentator.
He's
on
the
the
9-iron on this one. Reading the rough.
Big mouth, right?
It looks like he's just about to pick some scab on.
And then just as he's about to open his mouth, you hear someone go, "Bubba boy!"
Exactly.
Nick Fury, Monique comes into the throat. It's like, listen to Big Mouth trying to sound like a golf announcer.
I mean, honestly, compared to the Deppening, this is still like the trailers for the movie. This show.
Okay. So yes, I came in there today and we were talking a little bit about that, like what we have for breakfast and shit like that. Melvin Letter says, "I love the idea from the Deppening where we have a minutia show focused on day-to-day drudgery of life questions and fun facts about Gunk."
Yeah, that's fun. It's fun when you guys go back and forth about.
I love shit like that.
Biographical data.
Just stupid stuff. We were talking about like what we drink and you know.
Yeah, the bolognese.
The bolognese, exactly.
Bolognese.
By the way, John says, I don't have the luxury of 8 hours. Do you use any colorful euphemisms for the poopy?
For the what?
Did you say, did you say that she sat on a cigar?
Grumpy. Def called it a grumpy.
A grumpy?
It's a grumpy. This is British sometimes.
I think you should have said some things like, she was growing a tail on his bed.
He goes, I think this is how he put it. He goes, I came in to see what appeared to be from my maid Hilda Vargas on the right side of the bed.
I have it.
Appeared to be a grumpy, as they say. So
it was fecal matter.
So,
John, I sure hope you're not planning on driving tonight. There's no way. There's no way you would pass a sobriety test.
So, another thing. Have we ever done the first real guest on the show, Rachel Hunter. That whole
the way you called her a cunt.
We did it in
cleaning
out the computer, Dennis.
We did that. Yeah, we did do that once.
We did do that one. Okay, maybe we.
You
did.
weren't with
right.
us. We invited you. You blew us off.
Oh, I'm
You
so
were holding
sorry.
the driveway down.
Pardon me. Excuse me.
We
Excuse
did,
me.
that's
We're having
true.
a little bit
That's
of a
true.
life. Pardon me.
Yeah, Marta, I drank rye. That's such an old man drink. What, Moe, can
I
your
drink,
guy
wait,
order a
I
rusty
drink rye
nail?
all the time.
No, never.
What's in a rusty nail? It is
scotch
and
Scotch. I love scotch.
I don't
what
drink.
is the-
I
what
don't
is the
drink
rim
brown
shot?
liquors except for rum. That's it.
God damn it! It's scotch and drambuie.
Ugh.
Help me out.
Jambabooey.
Mixologist.
Hold on.
Drambuie.
Old. I know old Guineas drink that.
I know. I ordered it once in this.
It is Drambuie. You're right.
Yeah,
Scotch and
okay,
Drambuie.
thank
It's an old Guinea drink.
Here's the
Does that mean I have
key
to have it
moment.
soon?
Rye.
Here's the key moment from the Johnny Depp thing today.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Key.
He says he looked at it on his phone.
I'll rule the objection as the photograph.
What was the photograph of Mr. Depp?
You hear the breathing?
It was a photograph of the bed, our bed.
God damn it! You know I hate when this happens.
That's okay. By the way, there'd be no Fox News if it wasn't for 21 Jump Street. Depp started
And
Fox Network.
on my side of the bed,
It was a dookie.
He says fecal matter, and then he euphemizes it to grumpy.
was human fecal matter.
You gotta see his Amy Schumer lawyer. He's got a
So I understood why it wasn't a good time to go down there. My initial response to that was I laughed.
I laughed.
It was so
Ridiculous.
outside. It was so bizarre and so grotesque.
He sounds like a younger version of William Shatner trying
Yeah,
to sing
exactly right.
Lucy
He's
in
the
the Sky with Diamonds or
Yeah,
Spaceman or
Walking,
something.
Shatner pause.
Oh my God.
Sabotage.
Sabotage.
Every word is a Fabergé.
And
Every word
So I
is
did
like
not
some
go
sort
down
of
there.
precious moment of
Yeah.
discussion.
Like all words.
Oh my
His
God.
mouth.
What goes on with that? I don't even understand.
Rich people problems.
Obviously.
Is it
And
really rich people problems when your wife is shitting on your side of the bed?
Would it make it better if she shat on her side of the bed?
Well, wait, Monique. I mean, really, that is a rich people problem.
I mean,
most normal.
Let's be
most
honest.
normal
Why weren't they
students aren't
talking about the
pooping in
thread count?
beds.
You should be talking about the thread count on the sheet. That's what interests
You
me.
know,
Johnny
it was-
Depp has a 24-year-old sitting on the side of the bed, midlife crisis. Because that's exactly what it is. It is a pussy fog.
Spock, restore the
Midlife
atmosphere.
crisis.
Spock, sabotage the system.
She gets it so fast.
I wish I knew what to do. Observations, Mr. Spock.
Okay, we have line 192 with sabotage and a sabotage.
I don't say sabotage. You say sabotage. I say sabotage.
I agree with Shatner on that
You
argument.
know, listen,
He's like,
listen,
you know
this
what
is
you
worth
want.
noting. We were talking earlier. It's like he won. He's in his 90s. He got away with being an asshole his entire life.
Exactly.
He flew to outer space. He killed his wife. I mean,
My wife.
He fucking drowned his wife, and he got away with it. Allegedly.
Bottom.
I said that was like Bianca falling to the bottom of the fucking pool. He wasn't going in because the wig would have been completely destroyed.
Exactly.
But yet
Cindy
there he
Lou Who
was.
with
The wigs
a
are
hybrid
flotation
Deppening,
devices.
See that, Monique?
Oh
Wait,
Cindy
where are
Lou
we?
Who with a hybrid Deppening super chat.
Oh, I didn't get
Yay.
to it yet. Hold on, I have to scroll. I'm missing so much in the chat. I hate when I miss so much in the
They're
chat.
so brilliant. So not worthy. It's everybody. If Benji was like this, the chat, I'd still listen to the Stern Show.
Yes, agreed. Agreed.
Exactly.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Sin.
Everybody's so brilliant in there.
Thank you so much. I know. I love our chats. I just live for doing the show so that we can do chats.
Sabotage.
I swear to God, sabotage.
I don't say sabotage. I say sabotage. And you know what? If you go on YouTube, he's like not lying about that. All his sabotage moments on Star Trek, he says sabotage.
Wait. Where is that? You sent it to me today.
It's on the fuck thread was that? I don't even remember anymore.
No. I think you sent it to me.
The what's her name? The Oscar chick. What's her name?
So
Judy Garland's daughter. What's her name?
Who?
Say again?
Who's Judy Garland's daughter?
Liza Minnelli?
Liza Minnelli thread. She was sabotage.
Darius Garland.
And then if you go on to one of the first two posts, it's him saying sabotage. Sabotage.
I don't know why I need to hear that now, but I really feel the need to hear that.
Sabotage.
Let's go to the phones. Marta in Cleveland, you're on the air.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Everybody, I really wanted to let you know this, so hang on a second. Let me just go to my banners. Where is it? Hang on a second. Hang on.
It's going to be over there? Or down there?
Over there.
Why are my banners?
Just one drink with dinner, officer.
Grand. Okay, Gunk in the Night. Radio Gunk. Banners.
Over that way.
Background is changing.
Oh, did our background change? Oh,
it's
that's
over
so
there.
funny.
Yeah.
I see a mic now.
Just a little bit.
Is this sabotage?
My avatar, that really is Howard's Bowling Alley in my picture, just in case
Yeah,
you haven't
that's
seen it.
about right.
That's
you know
the
what?
real place.
The floor is a dead giveaway.
Yep.
I wanted to tell you guys and you people that once again and back and ready to roll is the Gunk phone number. Okay. So
shit. That's right.
There's no way that can go wrong.
No, how can that go wrong?
I wanted to let you guys know that the Gunk call-in number is back and ready to roll for all of my friends. And I just want to make sure that I have it right because I usually get it wrong. So hold on one second.
8, 6,
We're gonna have an
7,
entire
5,
show
3,
dedicated
0,
to
9.
people just leaving.
6, 7, 5, 3. Okay, here it is. So it's 252, and then it's Gunk, Gunk, and RDO. So Gunk Radio. So it's 252 Gunk RDO. And lines are open now. And we had a lot of really creepy phone calls on there the first time I did this. Oh, let's listen to the voicemail. Okay, put it on speaker. Put it on speaker. You have to listen to the voicemail.
You want me to call?
Yeah, go ahead, call. Put it on speaker.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Nabla hotline.
Remember that? Yeah, Howard loves Nambla.
Yeah, you reached us at RadioGunk. You clearly can't come to the phone right now, but if you think this shit's important, you have voicemail or don't. Also, bonus points if you just breathe heavily into the phone for 5 minutes. Thank you.
Someone's quoting Melrose Place.
There you go. So yeah,
it might as well be the Nambla hotline. It'll get
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Be brave.
Be brave. Times would.
Don't worry. Be brave. Times will change.
The persecution
Be proud
will
to be
end.
a cat lover.
This is NAMBLA, the North American Man-Boy Love Association.
Creepy.
In New York, the Horatio Alger chapter meets on the first Saturday of each month from noon to 2:30 p.m. For any other matter, please leave your message at the end of the beep. We'll call you back as soon as possible, but we'll have to do it collect.
Right.
In the meanwhile, and if you're a boy, do not despair. Be true to your feelings. Times will change.
So far they haven't.
And your oppression will end. But if you're a man, be safe, be brave, and above all, be proud to be a boy lover. In either case, do call us again. Best time is in the evening between 8:30 to 10:30. Thank you.
How did the FBI just not pounce on that dude? Like the second that, before that voicemail was over, the FBI should have had him like hogtied in the back of a van.
Be proud.
Be proud. Be brave.
Steve Harvey Oswald has it memorized, which disturbs me. he was posting dialogue before you even got
It's just
to it.
it's like the mother of all bad ideas. What the fuck? Seriously.
That is
And
just
you know what?
so delicious.
What take do you think that was for him? Was that take 5,
First take.
take
No,
6?
first take. First take.
Oh, you think that was a one take, Charlie?
No.
Absolutely first
He
take.
just nailed it the first time.
He just nailed that shit. Be brave. Be proud.
You know, it came from the heart.
It did. It was really
That is like-
heartfelt.
No script.
You know, it's kind of like calling the suicide hotline. It's like, I'm a boy fucker. I need to call the NAMBLA hotline
but
so that I
even-
can talk to somebody about my
Even like
issues.
Robert, even Quint on Jaws, it took him 2 takes to do that in the Indianapolis speech.
I think he had
And that
Keenan
guy was like
Wyatt
fucking like hardcore fucking thespian guy.
Hey,
He did
fun fact-
two
hey,
ta-
fun-
this guy, so you tell me this guy nailed it the first time.
Fun fact, you could watch Jaws 4 times with the amount of time that the Deppening took today.
You could have watched up until like
Monique, what was the
up
what was
until
the flight
Jaws
you
of
had us
Revenge.
taking? Reykjavik or something like that? What was the place you had the flight from New York
8 hours,
to
bro. That's
Iceland? What was it that you had a
Scandinavia.
destination? Scandinavia. That's Deppening.
We could have flown to Scandinavia in the time it took. That's right. It is the RadioGunk call center
honestly,
in Nigeria.
if tomorrow like I get a call from Mo, it's like, hey, you know that John was in his underwear at Starbucks the whole show?
Oh my
It
god!
wouldn't surprise me.
No.
I don't know how you do it, man. It's just like, oh man, I'd be fried.
Died. I know.
I guess it's like Eminem's. I've been
Dun,
waiting for this
dun,
moment.
dun,
Yeah, I've been
dun,
waiting for this
if you had
moment
one
for 5
shot.
years. I've been gearing up.
I got one shot.
I just inhale. I live and breathe this every
Snap
day.
back
You know
to
how long I've been
reality.
waiting?
Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes John.
You know, I will admit though. I mean, it is.
It's fascinating as fuck.
You ain't seen nothing
fan,
yet,
this
Dennis.
Is fascinating as shit.
He was on the stand for 7 hours today.
7 hours.
Your
And said
boyfriend
2
Bon
sentences.
Jovial literally stays up till 3 o'clock in the morning
And now
in
we got
bed with his headphones on.
This is like that dude that runs the triathlons in Antarctica type of shit.
Bon Jovi was very candid about his sobriety and brewing his own beer and stuff.
Oh, really? Tell us
Yeah,
about his sobriety.
I was by myself. I was by myself.
That is
on,
as Australian as you can get right there.
Tuesday? Yeah. He was giving me beer brewing advice and how it's been 10 years. We talk about cigarette butts and coffee cups in the front of rehabs, AA meetings and stuff. And he was going into this is really candid. Sara was going into her childhood, comparing it to Depp's, a lot of similarities with parents and
Knit
stuff.
1 Pro 2. Knit 1 Pro
Yeah.
2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, see, so you're scrolling down on the bottom there, and absolutely, you can leave any questions you may have for us or any comments. I would be more than happy to
Leave
play
your
them
credit
on
card?
air.
Dennis.
Yes, exactly.
Leave a credit card and don't forget the 3 numbers in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need the code in the back because otherwise
please
it won't
do.
work.
Yeah, Marta, absolutely call in and just you just don't have to even say who you are.
Don't
you
even
can just
use
ask
your name.
questions. You can just
we don't
what?
check numbers. We don't.
Yeah, we don't care about
we don't
any
give
of
a
that stuff.
fuck.
I mean, anybody who knows us by now knows that we don't care
Like,
about who you are.
I mean, you guys should be more like Tiger Lily. When we first put this up a few days ago, all she did was make fart noise with her armpits. And,
Exactly.
And like,
See,
wow,
be like-
that's pretty amazing.
Be like Tiger Lily. You
Yeah,
know,
be like Tiger Lily.
Somebody donated $100 to us the other day and said, "Thank you for everything you guys do." It was some dude's name. I have absolutely no idea who he was. I don't even know if
believe
he's
his
on
name
the
was
website.
Shuli. How did Shuli get $100?
Thanks, Shirley. Thanks for the C note.
Yeah, because sometimes you want to thank somebody,
With those
but
million viewers of his,
we
this
choose
is
to
the least
not
he
let
can do.
people list, put their names or anything
I think it was.
like that.
I think it was Grace.
Yeah.
Dennis, you should have seen it.
Wow.
Dennis, you should have
Dang,
seen it.
taking
You'd
it
have
back.
loved it. You
Bond
probably
is
didn't
not
hear this.
an academic. Bond is not an academic. He is. He's actually. He actually
He's
is
an astrophysicist.
That's exactly right.
Theoretical.
Does that make him a rocket scientist?
Theoretical physics.
I will call you. I will call you back, but it must be collect. That's
It must be.
exactly
We will do it collect between 8:30 and 10:30.
So we
Be
had
brave.
between 8:30
Be
and
proud to be a
10:30.
gunk caller.
Okay, there's your friend Dennis.
8:30 because the kids are in school at that time.
PM.
Oh God! Listen to Dennis. The Deppening.
Go for it, John. Did we lose it?
Case, for Christ's sake.
Oh, we missed it. You came. You.
Oh,
off.
I'll do it again. The Deppening stream is more protracted than Mike Redbar's marathon breakdown of Brendan Schaub's case. For Christ's sake.
So let me ask you a question. The red bar dude, is he on here?
Yeah. His name is Mike
Because-
David, and he pops in once in a while. Doesn't he just says these kind of drops and throws
Well,
a little
did you
grenade and runs
hear
away.
somebody posted on
I
our
did.
forum today? Somebody filming Kumia because I guess he's doing stand up
Oh,
yeah.
That was
he
brutal.
said the N word. He said the N word with the hard R twice.
Oh, yeah,
Twice.
that wasn't.
Yeah.
Redbar used to be on his network, and he
Like,
turned
he's very
off,
comfortable
so that-
throwing that
yeah.
out.
He's very comfortable throwing that out. I feel like he might be Kramerized at some point in the very near future.
He's gonna be
Something like that.
and,
Or he could be looking for attention. I mean,
Bobby Govanelli.
You'll find
Oh,
it,
you know
I
what we
guess.
should do? We
What?
should do a podcast covering the Deppening.
Oh yeah, make fun of it. Yeah.
We'll break down the 8 hours every day.
So Arm's gonna give us a clip, and it's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, I'll give you a clip, Dennis. You would have loved today. Speaking of,
Skip through it.
so we have this thing going on. I wrote down the other day on Monday. I literally wrote this down with no context. Jews and Chinese food. And I spent 3 days trying to figure out why I wrote it down. So it was this guy, Isaac Baruch, who's a Jew gene. So I had to relate how he doesn't know how to cook. He doesn't know how to heat up hot water.
You're like Moon Knight at this point. You just wake up and you have no idea what the last 24 hours entailed.
Mark Spector.
You're like in a weird like unitard.
Amber Heard's lawyer, Samantha.
You're like
So what
David Nivens. He's like, but actually more like David Nivens after the first time he turned into a werewolf in American Wolf in London. John wakes up with a wolf in a wolf fucking pit at the fucking Bronx Zoo, with no conscious memory of what happened the last 24 hours.
Here we go. Okay,
Dep
so
mentioned
now,
the deli platter today, Dennis.
So now there's
Oh, deli
really-
platter?
Dep mentioned the deli platter
Are
today.
you using
There's Amy Schumer.
Elaine Bredehoff as your...
I think there's going to
awesome.
be some. There's going to be some.
You know what?
discussion.
There should be like 100,000 viewers a day for this.
Absolutely.
What the fuck
I
is wrong
love
with the
that
world?
Casey misspelled Mark Harris's first name. He's on the give him the C. That's stupid.
Now,
That's
who-
so nerdy of me.
Who exactly is that woman with the red
Amy Schumer.
haired avatar on the top left hand side there? I'm wondering who that is.
Watch
Can you
when the
imagine us sitting here watching this, watching them,
You
watching
gotta see
this?
how sweet Melvin is on Depp's AOC lawyer, Emil Vasquez. Oh my God!
Oh,
Every
look at-
Dude,
Look
can
at
you, I
Johnny
can't even
right now.
imagine. I'd be like, do you think that that Mr. Johnny Depp ever hung out with Gigi Rodriguez?
We brought up Robert Rodriguez today like 5 times.
Oh, really?
That
Robert
hairline
Rodriguez is
is
why
way too
Amber Heard
unnatural.
and got hooked up with Elon Musk.
He's got a big tuchus, doesn't he?
He does have a little bit of a tuck,
I thought he was very svelte before.
What a schmeckel and a schwanz.
So you go to trial, you have to have like a man bun or something, put your hair up in a ponytail. I mean,
I don't know
Got
what
to.
goes on here.
Gotta look respectable.
You're right. He does have a little buns, and you know what? I keep feeling like those are hair plugs. I'm sorry. The
No,
hairline
you might be
is
right,
way
Monica.
too good.
I've been conjecturing that for years.
It's way too good.
When you made $500 million playing Jack Sparrow, you could probably afford.
You could pretty much do whatever you want. That's
True.
not a system. That's like
So when he was, that's what I was thinking when he was testifying before. It was almost like Jack Sparrow and
Yes.
testifying.
it was so weird. The cadence was really weird. Like everything
Everything's
about
weird.
him was so off.
If you ever see Shock a lot, that's his exact look.
He's
and that
husky,
plays
damn it.
He-
Sunflower dragon. He's husky, damn it.
He's husky.
He goes through the husky sizes.
Exactly. Look at Dennis's background.
You know, we weren't kidding when we said it was going to be a hybrid show, did it?
Oh, Dennis, that background.
We're literally doing a show on a show now.
Yeah, well, it was a show of a show on a show.
Well, there's somebody else
with the subtle
doing these
blackface
podcasts.
behind Dennis.
For Christ's sake, this guy's more swishy than Klay Thompson and Steph Curry.
Can I tell you my favorite 21 Jump Street story?
Oh, you know, he's talking about. Casey's
No.
talking about. I had a conversation when the first time I spoke to him about how
Grievous. He made Greco.
Jump Street should be investigating handball courts instead of high schools because that's where the drugs are. You just go right to the source and you investigate the handball courts.
You know,
what the hell are
hey
you
John,
talking about?
John,
What
when
is
you were
this?
watching 21 Jump
I
Street,
didn't know that was the center of drug
That's the center.
trade,
That is
handball.
that.
Handball courts.
That's where it all comes from.
Hey John, when you were watching 21 Jump Street in the 80s, and someone would have told you that there would have been a trial with a Grover on a bed, wouldn't you assume it would have been Peter DeLuise?
I'd say Greco.
But not Johnny Depp.
I would have said Greco.
You know what? I am going to tell you, and I think I've always shared this with John, but I always thought that Richard Grieco was just like the hottest boy. Like, you know, he had everything
Look at him
a
now,
young Monique would have loved to.
But
have
look at him
smashed.
now. He looks like if Dory the fish actually had a wish to become a human.
What happened? What happened?
He looks like a flounder.
Why did they go so wrong? Why do they go so very wrong?
He looks like one of the Marx brothers. He looks like,
Wait, go back to that. I can tell you which one.
it's
I have a PhD in Marx Brothers, so
it's
he's like you're like Chico. He looks a little bit like
Chico.
Chico.
Looks like Chico. He's like
Hey.
Chico Marx.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
There's a Mickey Rourke deep in
Texas?
Greco,
My
I feel.
cousin lives in Texas.
Hey, of course I'm Marie Chevalier.
Wow, that's a really creepy picture.
Wow, that's a some kind of
That
something.
is, oof.
Ooh.
Yeah, Autobot loves.
It must be brutal to have been like that handsome and then that shit happened.
Then that happened.
Like midnight, you turn back into a pumpkin.
I'm not sure the year that went. I'm gonna say because you remember that night at the Roxbury is based on
Hot
Greco.
in the city.
Hot in the city tonight.
Zerky 842. He looks like Paul Stanley. Yes, he does.
Oh my God, yes, he
And it's
does.
not a good look.
Yeah, exactly.
This was the picture. This was that whole 21 Jump Street. Yeah, this was.
There it is.
That's 89 Greco.
This is literally the hottest boy in my neighborhood, like ever. Like that's who that boy would be. Like the guy that no girl can get because he's just so hot and he knows it that he'd be like untouchable. That's who that boy was.
All I can think of is like that Pee Wee line. I'm a loner, a rebel.
A rebel Dottie. Yeah. Okay. So much for him. Who's that?
I don't know.
How are we on Richard Grieco now?
I don't know.
Where did
Greco
this
hijacks
podcast
everything.
go?
We just went a little out of control. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all. Just yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
On that note.
Okay, yeah, okay, so we are ready to be done with this shit show.
I guess so. We go to Richard Grieco. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to our podcast tonight, which was a little hybrid of Things That Go Gunk in the Night meets Howard Stern. You were not here, my dear friend, for the commentary that Sunflower Dragon, like every boy, every really cute Gindaloon boy looked like him. You missed out on the hot girls comment, so we're going to play it one more time because it is nowhere
please,
on
please.
the internet.
Here's some kids who said they were in the school when it happened. Hey, John.
Yeah.
I wanted Willie Ames
Yo.
in charge of me, Marta.
How's it going?
All right.
This is Howard?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I lived like a mile and a half from the school, man. I have a couple friends that were there, and I talked to them yesterday.
What'd they say?
They said that it was just a bunch of chaos, shooting, and...
Boy, a bunch of good-looking girls go to that school. That guy was right. The guy who called in, he was a little too excited, but there was like really good-looking girls running out of there with their hands over their heads.
Yeah, I think the bomb teams are still working.
Did those kids try to have sex with any of the good-looking girls? They didn't even do that. At least if you're going to go kill yourself and kill all the kids, like, why wouldn't you have some sex?
Yeah, I would think that I would want some sex, but...
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to kill some people, I'd take them out with some sex.
Hey, Mo. Hey, Mo, let's take 2 minutes and just go over the calendar and how absolutely fucking right we were when we fucking called this shit.
Okay. Hold on a second.
And let's just talk. Let's just see what we got in the future. Because
Okay,
he'll return next week.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, the countdown to fuck Youville.
Let's go to the calendar. April.
Wow.
So can we look? Let's look at the calendar real
I literally
quick.
spit water out of my mouth. Okay, so
Just
stupid.
take a quick glance.
Hold on, I have wetness all
Because
over my.
this calendar has been fucking ironclad.
I have wetness all
And
over
this
my
is-
mouse pad.
Keep
so
in
I
mind,
need
this, we came up with this calendar, what, about 5-6 weeks ago?
I'm at a point where I'm sure Dennis agrees. I root for him to be off. I want to be surprised.
Oh,
when he's off.
I've been
I just
extremely.
love
I've
when
been
he's off. Just
I've been
go away
extremely
forever.
happy this week. I've been happy this week.
So let's look. Let's take a look.
Relief.
Let's go to the calendar. Here we are.
Calendar.
So here we are. As suspected, we are once again off for this week. Then we will have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks with him. Then 2 weeks off.
Memorial Day.
Then 4 weeks with him. And that's it for the
And then
summer.
it's fuck you. Thank you for paying, suckers.
Fuck you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3 is what? 16, 17, 19, 24. So 24 shows until he is away. Listen, I never learned my times table, so I'm sorry for doing that.
Hey, that's okay. He'll have a fill-in host every one of those days because he's not insecure.
Look at July and August. It's going to be a lot of
So
fun programming.
I think there's going to be less this year. I have a feeling.
I know you keep saying
I don't
that.
doubt
and
that at
I
all,
don't doubt
bro.
that either.
I think that what's going to happen is that May is going to get one less week. I think in September he's going to stretch it out to the first week in September.
You can see him tapping out like the week of
yeah.
the 12th.
And then that 13th to the 15th in December, there ain't gonna be nothing that week. He's
No.
gonna be he's gonna be gone till friggin' the second week of January. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Absolutely hiding in his basement.
Um,
Still.
I deserve a vacation, Robin. I work so hard.
And then he'll come back and say how tired he is. Now, the interesting thing is, I wonder if he's been back from Florida yet.
I doubt it.
Is there any chance at all that because my stupid questions sometimes come that he'll actually be in the studio in September or October?
No,
stop it.
None.
Please,
I know it's a
I don't
stupid
care.
question,
X, I don't
but
care.
it bears
I
to
don't
be
care where he
asked.
is. I don't want him in the studio. I want him off the air. I don't want him in the studio. He's not better.
I want him in the studio because he'd be a miserable bastard.
Yeah, I don't. Him in misery doesn't work. Him not miserable doesn't work. He sucks everywhere he
Misery
goes.
loves
I don't care
company.
If he's there. Fuck him. I don't care.
So
I hope
here's
he
what we're
dies.
gonna do when we get into after these next 2 months of shows. We definitely, Xavier and I already have like a nice little list of things that go Gunk in the night stuff that we
And we'll
would
do
like to do.
the magic hour and shit like that. I mean, we'll do.
Yeah.
And the
I
jumper.
definitely wanna do
The
the
jumper would be a
magic
good one
hour.
to do, like someone mentioned earlier.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if I can share my screen because I have an answer where he is right now.
Oh. Were you drinking with him?
No, hold on. All right. Is it sharing? Video. Share
Make sure-
screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Not the Pornhub tab, dude. Just
Yeah, exactly.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I don't see anything, so you have to
hold
really actually
share and then go
it.
to tabs.
Oh yeah. Share. Okay. Share. Entire screen window. Chrome tab. Okay, that one. All right. There we go.
Every show is our first.
There it is. It's the first time I've tried to do this on the air, so there's your answer. You see it yet?
Oh, there we are. Well, that could be
There-
any beach. Oh, but it's
That's
March and it's only 50 degrees outside.
That's
so
Florida, so that's where the horse is.
What a
and that's
what
where
a life.
That is
What a
that's Jackie's
life.
backyard in Bayville with the line.
mottoing. It's their mottoing. See, it's
No,
mottoing.
because their property goes up into like a seawall. That's where she's sitting.
she's sitting on the seawall. She's not
Yeah.
even on the beach.
Right,
Exactly.
it's
There's a
it's
seawall, it's a
mottoing.
drop off, and yeah. More important, before we wrap up, will there be an update to the calendar where it's May?
Yes, yes, we already have that as a work in progress.
Nice.
So yeah,
Are we gonna keep the awkward owl, or are we gonna move to a different poultry type animal?
I don't know.
Can we do a turkey? I think
Come
come.
That's November.
That's
You don't want-
November. Oh, sorry. What was I thinking?
I know. We'll
No,
figure
it would
out
be
some
like
of
it would
it.
have to be maybe a mockingbird or maybe
We'll figure out some small
a blue jay
bird type thing that has noises. I don't know. That's on Bond.
How about can we move into the carry-on?
Carry on.
Yes, we can do whatever makes you
hawk?
happy.
Do a hawk.
All right.
You know what? I don't want to know. I want to be surprised in May.
Nobody's going to tell you. You will
Thank
be
you.
surprised.
Thank you.
It's okay. Okay.
Mayo.
Okay. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so that you know when we're going to have a new show. Thanks.